Good morning, everybody. In the previous lecture, you have been taught about the basics of perspective and proportion, and I hope you must have understood it properly. As an extension of the previous lecture, I will tell you about the compositional process. It is important to study compositional process as it helps in improving your composition. This process involves certain ideas such as design, balance, movement, and structure. Introduction. As you all know that art has given wings for creativity to many and has been expressed in various ways, whether through realistic art or abstract art. Various styles were prevalent even in the ancient period. Among them, Ajanta murals, Jain manuscripts, Rajput and Mughal miniatures are quite famous. The artist has been expressing themselves through these various styles. By 20th century only, the artists were able to develop their individual style and started express themselves individually. If we all are aware of the idea of creativity, then by using the elements of art, we may be able to develop better sense of making composition. First of all, we should know about the composition. What is composition? The simple meaning of composition is arrangement of the elements of art in an organized manner. Now you will ask me, what does it mean? For example, like sometimes a picture with impressive lines and good color schemes fails to attract viewers. Why is it so? That means a person have failed to arrange the elements in an organized manner. Let's have a look at these pictures. The first picture is not impressive due to lack of space because all the objects are taken in big size. Also, they are not arranged properly. The next picture lacks simplicity as the forms are complicatedly overlapped. The other one is not balanced as there is one big object on one side and a smaller object on the other side of it. In the last one, form is not according to the canvas or paper. The figures may be accordingly extraordinarily large as compared to the size of the surface. Compositional process. Creating a composition is quite a different activity from simple drawing what you see. In this process, you are concerned with arranging, designing and balancing. To understand compositional process, our first step is design. What is design? The study of design. The artist uses the elements to create a composition. But how the artist bring these elements together and arrange them upon the surface of a canvas or a paper, that creates the design. We can say a design is the result of an application of the elements by using the compositional principles, as it not only necessary to describe the forms, but also to place and develop them in a pleasing manner that involves the viewer with the subject, construction and meaning of the picture. While making compositional design, there are some points which we should keep in mind. They are balance, movement and structure. Balance. What is balance and how is it achieved on a flat surface? Artist needs to create an illusion of balance, referred to as visual balance. In visual balance, each area of the painting suggests a certain visual weight. This visual weight appears through the design, which we draw with the help of the elements like different types of lines, different shapes, and the use of colors. For example, simple lines appear lighter than zigzag line. And warm color such as yellow tend to expand the area in size. There is cool colors like blue tend to contact the area. There are two types of balance. First, symmetrical balance, and second, asymmetrical balance. Now you should know a little more about these two types of balance. First, symmetrical balance. Symmetrical balance can be described as having equal weight on equal sides of the centrally placed fulcrum. It may also be referred to as formal balance. It is possible to build formal balance by arranging elements equally around the center point. Asymmetrical balance. In asymmetrical balance, both sides of the central axis are not identical, yet appears the same visual weight. These two types of balance can be used effectively through horizontally, vertically, and radial balance. Whenever balance is to be considered horizontally, that is, about the horizontal axis, is called horizontal balance. Further, it may be symmetrical or asymmetrical. Whenever balance is to be considered vertically, that is about the vertical axis, is called as vertical balance. Further, it may be symmetric or asymmetric. Whenever everything is arranged around the center point, it is called radial balance. In this picture, the visual weight lies in the left side of the picture because the glass and the apple both are on the same side. But if we make the glass transparent, then it balances your picture because transparent and light shaded area visually weight less than an opaque area. If your background appears to be more darker, then you should add some values to the background so that our foreground and background visually weighted equally, like this. Movement in composition means the flow of the viewer's eyes from one area to another and getting into the picture. Perceive it and getting out as well should be a pleasing experience. If you see in a picture, our eyes' movement is directed by the use of perspective, directional lines or shapes, repeated values or color patterns throughout the image area. The primary function of the movement in composition is to encourage the viewer to study the image until its all aspects are discovered and appreciated. Look at the picture. In this picture, the movement is shown by the drapery and its directional lines that connecting the total area, and our eyes moves from top to bottom.
Look at the picture and try to imagine the basic shapes of each object. You may identify a small rectangle in a glass, big rectangle in a tray, or a circle.
Structure. In composition, structure refers to the organization of element in the picture. All structure based on primary basic forms such as triangle, squares, circles, rectangle, etc. conveys the structure of the object.
Now, by following the above idea, you can make some compositional design like this. Like this. And like this. In this way, your attention to design will make your image more effective. While making the compositional design, there is some point which we should keep in mind. They are balance, movement, and structure.
Summing up. Now it's time to conclude today's lecture. We have learned about the process of making an effective composition. You have seen that our first concern in this regard is the development of the total pictorial image. It is done through following various steps, such as principles of design, balance, movement, and structure. But still, this is my perception that there can be no hard and fast rules about what makes an effective composition. But each student, through study, must come to an individual understanding of the principle and problems involved. Self-assessment questions. First, what is composition? Second, what do you understand by the term compositional process? Third, what is design? What do you understand by visual balance? What is symmetrical balance? Name 2 techniques to correct the problem of imbalance of your picture. How you describe the asymmetrical balance? What does movement means in the pictorial image? What is the primary function of movement? What do you understand by basic shapes? How the basic shapes helps in improving the proper structure?